had been fishing the Imo River his whole life. But nothing prepared him for the morning his net came up carrying 40,000 naira, a SIM card, and the ID card of a man who was already dead. Achu fished the Imo River before the sun came up and after it went down. And in the 22 years he had been doing it, the river had never once surprised him. Until the Tuesday morning, his net came up too heavy and too still for fish. He pulled it in hand over hand, water pouring off his arms, until a black waterproof satchel broke the surface. He sat with it in the boat for a moment. The river moved quietly around him. He unzipped it slowly. Inside was 40,000 naira in wet but intact notes, a sealed SIM card, a folded document, and a laminated ID card with the face of a young man smiling the careful smile people save for official photographs.
At the landing, a younger man named Leo saw the satchel and asked what was inside. Achu told him. Leo looked at him with the flat eyes of a man who had already done the math. 40,000 naira from a dead man who cannot come looking for it? He shook his head slowly. Old man, God has settled your school fees. The other men nearby laughed. Achu picked up his things without a word and walked toward the road. He did not look back.
The police station was a 20-minute walk. He sat on the bench outside for 40 minutes before an officer came. The man listened without interest, flipped through the satchel contents like he was checking a produce list, and told Achu that if no one claimed it in 3 months, he could collect it. Achu asked if they could trace the owner using the ID card. The officer looked at him the way adults look at children who ask questions with obvious answers. Achu left the satchel on the desk and walked back out into the sun. 3 weeks passed. The village had opinions, the way villages always do. Some called him a good man. Most called him a fool. His wife Rachel served his food that evening in silence, sat across from him and said 4 words. You did the right thing. She did not say it to comfort him. She said it the way people say things they simply know to be true. Achu ate his food and felt for the first time since he found the bag that he could breathe properly. On the 23rd day, a young woman arrived in the village, moving from door to door with a photograph. Her name was Ada. She was looking for her brother, Osas Emmanuel, who had drowned 3 weeks earlier crossing a flooded road near the river. His body had been recovered. His bag never had. The money in that bag was everything the family had saved for his burial and to clear a debt their late father had left behind. When Achu saw the photograph in her hand, he stopped walking. He knew that face. He had been looking at it for 3 weeks. He took her to the police station himself. When the officer brought the satchel out from the back room and placed it on the desk, Ada stared at it without touching it for a long moment. Then her hand reached out and touched the zipper, and something in her face broke open quietly, the way grief does when it finally finds the thing it was looking for. She turned and asked who had brought it in. The officer pointed at Achu, standing near the door. Ada crossed the room, took his rough, river-worn hand in both of hers and bowed her head over it. She did not speak. She did not need to. Achu was back on the river before dawn the next morning. Same bend, same net, same darkness before the light came. He had not been paid. He had not been celebrated. The village had already moved to the next thing. But there was a quietness in him that had not been there before. Not pride,
Not satisfaction exactly, but the deep, settled feeling of a man who had been tested at the place where no one was watching and had not looked away. The river gave him 9 catfish that morning. He counted them, loaded his crate, and went home. It had been a good week. If this story touched you, stay with Tales by GVIP for more.